Hey, what's up, my new Standard Nation? It's TJ Vitens coming at you with a new episode about what should you look for or know about when selecting your real estate agent. So really, this comes down to both the buy and the sell side. But what you have to understand when you're out there looking to buy or sell a house, one, not all agents are created the same. It's a sad thing for me to say, but it's super easy to get your license. When you look at nationally, it's 90 hours to get your real estate license. In our local market here in Dane County in Wisconsin, 72 hours. 72 hours, and they've decided you or me can have my real estate license. I'll never forget when I graduated college, I took real estate courses, and they told me I didn't even have to take the class, and I knew nothing about real estate. So I still took the class, but the fact is 72 hours isn't enough time to help understand and help you with your largest financial purchase or sale of a lifetime for most people. It's kind of funny when you think about it, right? Like 72 hours, but it's 1,500 hours for a beautician. So for somebody to do this hair, 1,500 hours, but somebody in a weekend can help you buy or sell a house. The fact is there's too many moving parts and too many things to know that we're going to talk about here that you just don't learn in a class that basically teaches you how not to get sued. So when you're thinking about who is the agent I want to work with and what you want to know and what you want to know about them, you really need to understand who you're working with and how they can best help position you so that we make sure you and your family make the right decision. So when we ask ourselves who we're working with, we have to go, okay, well, that's the average, right? Well, the average agent is also in our market only selling about 3 houses. Nationally, depending on where you're looking, it's 5 to 8 houses. So again, do they really have the skill set necessary to help put you in the best position possible when buying or selling, let alone the money to market your house, to make sure they're putting it in the best light, to put it in front of as many people as possible to help drive that price up so that you guys get the most amount of money when you do go to sell, if you're a seller listening to this. Because when you look at the average agent spends $89 to market your house when they sell it. The fact is, most of them put a sign in the yard, put it on the MLS, and then do the pray that it sells. So we call it the 3 Ps. Because if they are only spending $89, that's nothing. Like, we're spending thousands of dollars a month just on Google pay-per-click and Facebook ads to drive traffic to our site to make sure the listings we have are showing up higher, getting more people in front of them so that we can attract higher offers. Same thing on the buying side. Like, it's really frustrating when we have people that come to us or we talk to them, or here's a good example. I had a friend that I had helped buy a house before. He ends up getting engaged and married, so they actually sell his house to it was somebody that he knew. But they decide to work with his new wife's cousin who just got her license, and he's like, TJ, I want to work with you, but she got her license, we want to work with her. I'm sorry, my wife wants to work with her. Anyway, long story short, they buy a house. 6 months later, he calls me and he's like, TJ, we have a huge issue with our septic. What should we do? And I'm just kind of asking some questions. I'm like, well, did she tell you to do a well and septic inspection? And he had no idea what that was. The fact is, he had a $10,000 bill because he decided to help somebody get their feet wet in the business. I'm not saying we all started somewhere, but you have to understand who you're working with, because on the buy side, agents can do things to put you at a disadvantage and literally cost you tens of thousands of dollars. On the selling side, it's the same thing. When you look at, I'll hear some agents go, we'll just get an appraisal and we'll show what the value is. Well, appraisers don't know the value. I still have a huge issue with appraisers because appraisers get to see the offer. So do you think the offer is going to skew their value a little bit? Potentially. And again, the same thing with this. I had some people I helped buy something, and now they were going to sell their house. Well, their neighbors' kids wanted to buy it. So they had an appraisal done on it, and it was for $300,000. They called me up, and they're like, TJ, what do we do? Is our house only worth $300,000? And I looked at it, and I'm like, well, you know what? I would have no problem listing this at $375,000. And this is 2 years ago, so I think it was mid-2016. And anyway, the neighbor's kids didn't want to pay that because they said there's no way with the appraisal at 300. We list it, and it was in the first week we had an accepted offer for full price based on the terms that the seller wanted. A new appraiser comes out and appraises it at 375. Why? Because we had a strategy in place to help drive that appraisal number up so that it didn't come in low at that 300 number again. And when you combine that with the appraiser seeing the 375 on the offer, they want to see that price come in. But again, at the end of the day, it's who you're working with. This is your largest purchase and investment of a lifetime. Whether or not it's us, if you're not in our part of the country, like reach out, I'll put you in front of somebody that does do a good job. If you're in our area and you want to see or get a second opinion or see how we work to help position you as a buyer, to make sure you have the best credit, to make sure you're getting the right loan amount, to make sure if you don't have 20% down that we can show you ways not to have PMI, which is mortgage insurance, which makes your payment higher. If you're a seller, you need to understand how do we position our house, so bring it to the market to be in the best possible light, to get the most amount of traffic, to create the most competition, to create some buzz, to drive the price up higher than what it should be. And if you look at last year, the sales that we had, some of the listings, in almost every neighborhood we went to, we either broke some records with price per square foot or just the highest sale prices because of the way we're able to drive traffic, build that anticipation with the listing coming to the market, and getting people excited to buy it. So again, if it's us that you're working with, we show people all of this stuff that you want, that you should be doing, whether you're a buyer or a seller, again, to put you in the best position possible on the buy or the sell side. And then it's really feeling comfortable with those people that you're working with. I know we're not right to necessarily work with everyone because I'm pretty laid back. I'm going to explain stuff, show you how we do it, but maybe I'm not the right fit for somebody else, or vice versa. There's people that come in and meet with us and I know there's no way we can help them. Or maybe they're just, I don't want to work with jerks, so we just won't work with them. Because at the end of the day, I want to enjoy who I'm working with. I want them to see the value in what we do, and I know when I sit down and meet with people, they do see that. So you need to make sure that you're getting in touch with an agent that has a skill set that can talk to you about the market. They can talk to you about marketing versus advertising when you're thinking about selling. On the buy side, they shouldn't just push you off on a lender or just because you're pre-approved say, okay, well, you're pre-approved, so we're ready to roll. They should be able to ask you specific targeted questions to understand your situation and then go, okay, well, did your lender ask you about this? We need to make sure that not only are we as agents raising our standard, but we're holding the lenders and the other people we work with to a higher standard to make sure you're getting in the absolute best loan program for you based on how long you're going to live in the property. Is this a short-term place that you're going to stay? Are you going to keep it for a rental in the long run? So we have to look at, I always call it that global picture, and really see where you are as a buyer or a seller to make sure, again, we are putting you in the best light possible. You can, I believe we have there'll be a link under here, maybe if you're on mobile or to the side or learn more. Somewhere there'll be something with learn more. And we'll put a link in with the questions that you should be asking your agent. And then, again, you can always reach out to us. My phone is 608-576-0044. I don't care if you're in our market or not. I want to help everywhere. So there's people that do call us, and I get them in touch with somebody in their local market that they feel comfortable with that can help them. And if you're in our area, again, reach out. Again, I put the phone. Email is tj@sreehelp.com, and just ask us if you have a question, whatever it might be. If you want to sit down and see how we work, awesome. Even if you don't want to work with us, I guarantee you'll be in a better position to understand what you need to do as a buyer or seller to maximize either the amount you're going to sell for or to put you in the best position as a buyer to make sure you're buying the right home at the right price. So don't forget, raise your standard, and we'll talk to you soon.